Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sari Gaur Bhakta. This is the Panch Tattva Pranam mantra. So in which five personalities are there. Five personalities in one sense, and we can say unlimited personalities also. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya, there is one person who is none other than Brajendra Nandan Sri Krishna coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then second one is Prabhu Nityananda, Nityanand Prabhu. So he is none other than Balramji, Balram Hoilo Nitai, Brajendra Nandan Jai, Sachi Suta Hoilo Sai. And Balram comes as Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And then comes Sri Advaita, Advaitacharya. We know Advaitacharya is Sadashiv, and also he is expansion of Mahavishnu. And we saw how, in one of the sessions, we saw that how Advaitacharya is expansion of Mahavishnu. There are two types of causes by which the universal creation takes place. One is instrumental cause, one is instrumental, and one is something which changes. They are called Upadeya Karan. So here we see Advaitacharya is Upadeya Karan of this material universe getting expanded from Mahavishnu. And then we have Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Pandit, and Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So they are Panch Tattva, but number of personalities into this Panch Tattva mantra is unlimited. Right? Gaur Bhakta Vrinda is unlimited. Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. That's what we say. Sahasra Koti, Ananta Koti, Vaishnav Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Ananta Koti, they are unlimited. So in Panch Tattva Pranam, we do Pranam to every devotee practically. Right? So we all of us are in Panch Tattva. All devotees are in Panch Tattva. That we worship Panch Tattva. So in these five personalities, the one absolute truth. These five personalities are one absolute truth. So Gadadhar is Srimati Radharani, as usually devotees they know. And Srivas Thakur is a devotee of the Lord. Devotee of the Lord. And he is the leader of the devotee of the Lord. Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, he is the leader of Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Right? So these five personalities are actually put into different categories. Different categories, when they come together, they make thus one absolute truth. One absolute truth. So Panch Tattvatkamam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Saktikam. Panch Tattvatkamam Krishnam. So Krishna is the absolute truth. He comes as Panch Tattva. Panch Tattvatkamam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam. So who is Bhakta Rupa? Bhakta Rupa is Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhakta Sarupakam, all of you kindly keep notes. We'll have quiz also at the end. Bhakta Sarupakam is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Panch Tattvatkam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam. Then Bhakta Avatar, incarnation of devotee. Supreme Absolute Truth comes as incarnation of devotee, and he is Sri Advaita Acharya, Bhakta Avatar. Then comes Bhakta Shakti, Bhakta Shakti. Bhakta Shakti means the potency of bhakti. And what is that? She is Srimati Radharani, and in the Gaurang Mahaprabhu's pastimes, he is Gadadhar Pandit. And Bhakta Rupa Sarupam Bhakta Avatar Bhaksham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Shakti is Gadadhar Pandit. Bhaktakhyam is glorified, is well known to be like Bhakta, and he is Srivas Thakur. So these are five personalities. And one absolute truth comes in form of Panch Tattva. So these five things. First, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and every Gaudiya Vaishnava must know this Tattva. How this Panch Tattva is one unit. At the same time, when they come at as 5 personalities. And what are their different tattva? Pantatvatkam Krishna, Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam, Bhaktavataram, Bhaktakhyam, Namami Bhakti Shaktikam. Isn't it? So Gadadhar Pandit is Bhakti Shakti, Bhakti Shaktikam, Bhakti Shaktikam. Gadadhar Pandit is Bhakti Shakti, the internal potency of Supreme Lord. भक्तों की शक्ति क्या है? That is internal potency of Supreme Lord. That is nothing external, right? So there are two potencies, internal potency and external potency. From by external potency, we do this material activity of this material world. And to do devotional service, we need internal Shakti, right? We need internal Shakti of the Lord. By external potency, we cannot do devotional service. That is not possible at all. We cannot excel in devotional service by external potency, by external skills, could be external biceps and triceps. It's required internal Shakti, and personification of that internal Shakti is Srimati Radharani, Antaranga Shakti. So Antaranga Shakti, in which Sandhini, Samvit and Ahladni. Ahladni Shakti Swarupini is Srimati Radharani. And that same Ahladni Shakti comes as Gadadhar Pandit in Gaur Leela. Right? So here we see Lord Sri Krishna himself has accepted the mood of Srimati Radharani and the Kanti, color of Srimati Radha. And now again Radharani comes as Gadadhar Pandit. The mood, the bhava of Srimati Radharani has been stolen by Krishna. And what left is Gadadhar Pandit. Okay. So what is the bhava of Srimati Radharani? To be always in separation with Krishna. Even though Srimati Radharani is alongside with Krishna sitting, but she will still feel separation from Krishna. And she will cry tears. And she has Vam Svabhava. Vam Svabhava means a leftist mentality. Leftist mentality, rightist mentality. These are very eternal mentality which are still coming. And in Indian politics also this two mentality is there. I'm not talking about that material world leftist and rightist mentality. In spiritual world also there are two mentality, rightist mentality and leftist mentality. So rightist mentality is devotees who are very, very, very obedient to Supreme Lord. So Supreme Lord's orders, their rightist mentality. Right? And leftist mentality are those devotees who are little bit have their own reservation, and they have little bit of angry mood toward the Lord, right? So they are called leftist mentality. As Srimati Radharani having leftist mentality. So, but with Gadadhar Pandit, we see Gadadhar Pandit is very, very humble, very meek, and all that good qualities of devotees are found in Gadadhar Pandit. He always want to have type of seclusion. He don't talk too much nonsense. He is meek, humble, mild spoken. These are all qualities of Gadadhar Pandit. And Gadadhar Pandit very, very obedient to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Right? So there's some around 1 month younger than Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar Pandit. So Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit were like very, very, very close friends. And because this Vam Svabhava has been taken by Krishna as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar Pandit is now very, very humble, very obedient, right? And he doesn't become angry upon Mahaprabhu. Right? But in the pastime of Radha and Krishna, we see Radharani was so angry. My God. Even Krishna is very fearful, Srimati Radharani, because he had leftist mentality. But leftist mentality has been stolen by Krishna as Mahaprabhu. And what is remaining, that is Gadadhar Pandit. So in Gaur Gunodesh Dipka, it's mentioned that Gadadhar Pandit is the best of the Brahmanas, is incarnation of Srimati Radharani and Lalita Gopi. So these two personalities, transcendental potency of the Lord, Srimati Radharani and Lalita Shaki, they comes together in the personality of Gadadhar Pandit. So these two personalities incarnates as Gadadhar Pandit. So the question is how this Gadadhar, Srimati Radharani gets the form of Gadadhar Pandit. So the explanation is, yes, today morning, early morning, around 4 o'clock, I was hearing one of the lecture of Param Pujya Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So, Guru Maharaj was telling that because Srimati Radharani had a constant longing to have association of Krishna. Night time it was okay, but in the daytime, when Lord was there in Gokul, uh, in Braj, so he used to go for cow pasturing. Used to go to pasturing grounds for grazing cows. So then Srimati Radharani was whole day she was in separation and she was thinking that why did I get this female body that I could not accompany Krishna? If I would have got the male body, I could have always accompany Krishna. Right? So I want to always accompany Krishna. So that was his uh, desire in the past times in Braj. So to fulfill that desire, in Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Srimati Radharani turns into Gadadhar Pandit, Haribol, male body. Now there is no restriction. Always you can be with Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So that was the intense desire of Srimati Radharani that turned her into him, right? And we see in the pastime of Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar Pandit is always, he is a constant accompaniment of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, never leaving, Gauranga Mahaprabhu alone. I mean, of course, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu was in the Siksha pastimes, Siksha, what do we say, Vidya pastimes, Vidya Lila, and that time he was like quite very much, sharp Pandit. Right? He was into his Vidya Rasha and is to catch hold of anybody and he will start doing debate and different types of argument upon grammar or upon Sanskrit versus a definition of some particular terminology. And devotees were quite little bit, uh, not so disturbed. They used to love that pastime. But at the same time, they should think that this fellow Nimai is simply wasting his time. He would have done little bit devotion service and that would have been of some worth of. But he's simply wasting his time. So once Nimai Pandit caught Gadadhar Pandit also. And he asked, Gadadhar, can you please tell what is the meaning of mukti? So Gadadhar Pandit started telling, he is a Pandit also. Gadadhar Pandit started telling so many different definitions. And Nimai Pandit just slashes all those explanations. He does no. Meaning of mukti is to always remain in distress. Oh, what is this? Never heard of. Definition of mukti is always remain in problem. And then he starts quoting this at so many other places. Hearing this, Gadadhar Pandit was quite disturbed. He told that you are simply wasting your time. You don't know what is real essence of life. That is bhakti. And Mahaprabhu told, don't worry, Gadadhar. I will show you. Real mukti is how to remain always in distress. So he goes after his father's demise to Gaya for offering pinda. And there he gets initiation from Sripadeshwar Puri. And then when he returns, as soon as he gets initiation, he was altogether a different person. He was not the same Nimai Pandit now. Now he has become mad in separation from Krishna. And somehow or other he manages to return back to Sridham Mayapur. And in Sridham Mayapur, he was immediately, he actually managed to hold a meeting. And that meeting, he didn't invite Gadadhar Pandit. Yeah, there was some reason he didn't. And that meeting venue was house of Suklambar Brahmachari. So these are all eternal pastimes of the Lord, eternal associates of the Lord. So in the house of Suklambar Brahmachari, this meeting was held, and this news was already moving that Nimai Pandit is no more than Nimai Pandit. He is a changed person. Now he is fully so much mad into bhakti and he's always crying for Krishna. He is always chanting the names of Krishna. and he has called for a meeting at the house of Suklamra Brahmachari. So this was told to Gadadhar Pandit. Well, Gadadhar Pandit told her, but I'm not invited. What to do? Shall I go or not? So anyway, I will anyway go. It's good news. We were thinking that something could happen like this. This fellow Nimai Pandit, who is so much into his scholastic pursuit, should become devotee. At least our number of devotees will increase. Like devotee want to increase their numbers. So it was a good news that Nimai Pandit also became devotee. He was a good Pandit. Now he become a good devotee. I mean, very nice devotee. Because in those days, there was a competition, a real, very hard, tough competition between Saktas and Vaishnavas in Navadip. Right? Now it's still there. Uh, we see in the Ras, and there is something called word Ras, very famous in Bengal. And people they come from all over Bengal to hear to see Ras. And Ras means what? They want to see all different deities of Mata Durga. And this is what they understand to be Ras. But actually, this is not the meaning of Ras. So when Rasa Leela pastime takes place in autumn season, so out of competition, the Saktas has also made their own festival of Ras. That is, they worship different deities of Shakti. So that was like that time it was established. So those same thing is going like coming till now. So devotees are happy that Nimai Pandit now he didn't become Sakta, he became devotee. That's very nice. And since Suklambar Brahmachari's house, Mahaprabhu was having this meeting and he was telling that what is devotion and what is mission and all that. Uh, and he's crying tears. Where is Krishna? I just had Krishna and I lost him. Where I'll get Krishna? Where I'll get Krishna? Like this, he was crying tears. And in the corner, somewhere in the corner of the house, uh, a person was crying. Another person was crying. And that Gaurang Mahaprabhu, I mean, then Nimai, he was able to hear. And it tells who is crying in the corner. The sound of sobbing, moaning is heard. Who is that person? Can you please tell? So then other devotees tell, Are he is Gadadhar. Gadadhar is, oh, I didn't invite him, but he came still. So he is crying. He is crying. So now Gadadhar Pandit was not able to understand that who is Gaurang Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya could understand that this Nimai Pandit is none other than my Lord Krishna himself coming. And Gadadhar was also thinking that why Advaita is giving so much of respect to this Nimai. This Nimai is a normal, Pandit. Now Gadadhar could also understand. So this is all pastime that took place in Siddham Mayapur. So one of the very important pastime, very much, you know, uh, important pastimes in the sense, a great lesson we can learn how Gadadhar Pandit accepted his spiritual master. So Gadadhar Pandit and Mukunda, they were also very good friends. And whenever in Navadip, Vaishnava used to come, they used to go and visit and hear from those Vaishnavas because Navadip was then the kingdom of Bengal, right? Now, sorry, Navadip was the capital of Bengal. Now, capital of Bengal is Calcutta, right? So before Calcutta, capital of Bengal was Malda. Uh, that's called Gouda. Gouda. And before Malda, the capital of Bengal was Navadip. So at the time of this Sen dynasty, Pallava Sen and all, so this kingdom of Bengal was actually Navadip. And when this Muslim rulers they took up, then they changed that uh, venue. I mean, they changed the place. The capital was shifted to uh, around North Bengal, Malda. That's called now Ramkeli. If you go toward North Bengal, there is a place called Ramkeli. So then they shifted. So it was around somewhere around Mahaprabhu's time only. So this Navadip was like center of the whole Bengal activities. Like nowadays we see people they have their own house into village, and they also have their flat into Calcutta, right? They have their own place in the city also. Similarly, people of Bengal they used to have their own place in Navadip also. They have their own place in their village, and they have their own place also somewhere. They if they go to capital of Bengal, where they will stay, like they will stay at some particular place. So all different great souls used to come to Navadip. So once this person, his name was Pundarik Vidyanidhi, he came from East Bengal, and he was very well known to be a great devotee of the Lord. Mukunda told, friend Gadadhar, let's go and visit have a take a visit to this great devotee has come. His name is Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Gadadhar Pandit told, okay, let's go. चलो थोड़ा घूम के आते हैं. So both of them they started. So they were nearing to the place where Pundarik Vidyanidhi was staying, and he was outside, and from very far off only they are able to see how he looks like, how what his features and how he think, what he does. So Mukunda and Gadadhar is saying that this person doesn't look like Vaishnava. He's first of all he's drinking cigarette, and not a small cigarette as today we see. Big cigarette, hookah cigarette, like big pipeline will be there, and there will be a big pot of water or something, and good sound will come. And he had very nice big hair, and the hair was also fully anointed with oil and all everything, scented oil. And there was mirror also around, and sometimes you used to see the mirror also, you used to see the face. Right? So these are the symptom of, I mean, not of the devotee. Like if somebody behaves like this, how you will say that he's a devotee? Like if somebody see his face into the mirror. This is directly this is symptomizes he's a bodily concept. He's in bodily concept of life, right? He has very nice oil into his hair, uh, and he's having two people around. One is fanning, another is doing chamar. Mu- This Gadadhar told that Mukunda, पता नहीं तुम खाने क्या है, कौन सा वैष्णव लेके फेमस लेके. He was started thinking in the mind only. He didn't tell everything. He became doubtful. Mukunda actually perceived this that Gadadhar had doubt. Then Mukunda, just to show Gadadhar Pandit how great person is, great devotee is he, immediately started chanting the slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam. Which sloka he started chanting? He started chanting the most beautiful heart of Krishna, where it's mentioned in third canto that Lord Krishna is such a compassionate person that he would give his own abode to a person who came with such vicious mentality to kill him. Aho vakiyat stanakalakutam jigham sayayat apeya sadhve lebhe tato dhatrim uchitam tato anyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. So just as he hears this particular shloka, Vidyanidhi, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, immediately starts like he just fell down from his couch, and he started rolling, yelling, Krishna, Krishna, Kamva Dayalu Sharanam Brajama. He started crying tears, and tears were oozing like anything. And in that madness, he just started tearing all that fancy things whatever was there in his house. And by seeing this, Gadadhar was like taken aback. My God, such a great devotee. He started rolling. I mean, Pundarik Vidyanidhi, Goda Godi Khaye. So by seeing this, Gadadhar thought that, my God, such a big offense I have committed. Now, Mukunda, how I will be saved from this offense? So this was not a verbal offense, it was just a mental offense. He thought like, kaisa devotee ho sakta hai? So then Mukunda told that, I don't know how I will get. So Gadadhar Pandit told, I think if I will accept him to be my spiritual master and I'll become his disciple, then this offense will counteract it. Mukunda told, yeah, you can go. Surely this is a very nice, wonderful remedy for your offenses. So Gadadhar Pandit appears in front of Pundarik Vidyanidhi and he submits himself that I want to become your disciple. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi was very happy to accept Gadadhar Pandit to be his disciple. He told, I'm so fortunate that I got the disciple like Gadadhar Pandit. Oh. So this Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani, and Pundarik Vidyanidhi is none other than Brisbhanu Maharaj, spiritual father, I mean the eternal father of Srimati Radhika. He comes as a spiritual father of Gadadhar Pandit in Gauda Leela. So a great lesson to learn is that if we see any Vaishnava, many times we have particular frame of reference, of framing definition of a Vaishnava. How he should be looking like, how he should be behaving, how should be acting, how should be speaking like. But a Vaishnava definition is not stereotyped. as it is made in the mind of Prakrit devotee like us. It's very, very instructive lesson. That a Vaishnava could be only uh, known when he acts that from far off, but at the same time when he speaks. Most important when he speaks, and then only a Vaishnava could be understood. It's one thing. At the same time, unless one goes very close to him, he sees how much love that he have with Supreme Lord. One should not immediately go ahead and just start understanding and trying to estimate what a Vaishnava is. Then there could be mental offense also. So if there is offenses, then our devotional bhakti train, gets halted at one place when offenses takes place. And that offenses, if one is a very advanced devotee and offenses has taken place, then the train of devotional service takes a big halt, right? So that's what we see in the life of this Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit immediately accepted Pundarik Vidyanidhi to be his spiritual master, and all the offenses were purged out. So then after, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears, Gauranga Mahaprabhu returns back from Gaya, and then he was a different person. He was always crying for Krishna. And in this condition, he was thinking that where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Nobody could pacify him. Nobody can give him solace. Even Sachimata could also not. But there was only one person, his name was Gadadhar Pandit. He could solace him, he could pacify him, he could speak some good words. So the very, very special pastime that Mahaprabhu was simply crying like this, where is Krishna? Where I'll get Krishna? Well, I'll get Prananath. So Gadadhar Pandit told that Prananath is there in your heart. When he started immediately scratching his heart, Mahaprabhu is scratching. He told, wait. Now he went to Mathura, he's going to come very soon. Oh, he went to Mathura, he's going to come back very soon. So like this, he used to make Mahaprabhu sad, like somehow that pacified. Seeing this wonderful skill of Gadadhar Pandit, so that he could pacify his dear son Nimai, Sachimata told Gadadhar, you always there remain with Nimai. You don't leave the side of Nimai. Always. So in past time, when there was instruction that don't associate with Krishna, and in this past time there was direct instruction, associate with Krishna, associate with Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That was the desire of Srimati Radha. So we see Gadadhar Pandit in the left side and Nityanand Prabhu in the right side. So with these two personalities were always there. Sometimes Nityanand Prabhu had to be outside of the association of Mahaprabhu for preaching purposes, but Gadadhar Pandit will never leave the side of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, never. Like, so he was always there in the left side of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Even Kaji Dalan past time, when Mahaprabhu took so many lakhs of devotees marching toward the house of Kaji. So left side Gadadhar Pandit and the right side Nityanand Prabhu. Well, both of them were doing the service of holding Mahaprabhu, that he should not fall down. So like this we see Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always accompanied by Gadadhar Pandit, with none other than Srimati Radhika. So the time comes that Mahaprabhu now he has to leave Navdeep. He has already decided that I have to leave Navdeep, I'll take sannyas. And this was like a thunderbolt for Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit started giving so many logics. Why you are going to, why you require to take sannyas? Which Shastra tells that you should take sannyas? You should not take sannyas. So some or other Nimai Pandit convinced him that no, I have to take sannyas. Okay. So even after taking sannyas, Gadadhar Pandit followed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannath Puri. And there in Jagannath Puri, he stayed with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for staying with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did a trick. What was the trick? He thought if I am here with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can just tell me anything. He will say that just go and preach. My God, then it will be very difficult. How will I manage to be with Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Like Nityanand Prabhu has been given this instruction. Nitai, don't come every year. Now you go to Bengal, Gaudadesh. Now I am here in Odisha because of the instruction of my mother. I cannot go and preach in Gaudadesh in Bengal. Now you go and preach in Bengal. And you don't need to come every year. Let everybody come and meet with me. You don't need to. If such instruction, if I get, then what will happen? So very trickingly, what he did, he took Chhatra sannyas. Okay, so that I will always remain with Mahaprabhu. Chhatra sannyasa is the type of sannyasa in which you don't need to move here from here and there. You just remain one Chhatra. So Gadadhar Pandit accepted Chhatra sannyas just to stay, just to some or other stay along with Gaurang Mahaprabhu. So when time comes when Gaurang Mahaprabhu now he wanted to go to Vrindavan, and he has told that no, I cannot take anybody with me except one person will be there just to cook, another person will be there just to hold kamandalu and some other stuff. Gadadhar Pandit told, no way, I will also go with you. Mahaprabhu told him, fine. What nonsense you are telling, Gadadhar? You cannot go with me. You have taken the Chhatra sannyas. Chhatra sannyas is such a big vow. You have to be there in vow, in your vow, in your Chhatra. That is your service. And previously, just some years back, Mahaprabhu told Gadadhar, in Chatak Parvat, you know, go and just dig a little bit, you will find your prananath. So Gadadhar Pandit dug, I mean Mahaprabhu also said, Mahaprabhu dig that, and there he found most beautiful form of the deity of Krishna, called Tota Gopinath. And you are worshipping that deity of Krishna, Tota Gopinath. And Tota Gopinath is Krishna himself, Brajendra Nanda. And who will do the service of Tota Gopinath? And first thing is that service will be, there will be seva aparad. Another thing is that your vow will be broken of Chhatra sannyas. Gadadhar Pandit tells that hail to that vow. And also he tells, forget about Gopinath. I don't care of Gopinath. Wherever you are, there is Gopinath and there is Vrindavan. So see, these pastimes are not to be, not to be taken to be like, okay, so I will also follow in the footsteps of Gadadhar Pandit. I will also not take care of any vow or any service. So this is the riti of like Braj riti. So in this rules and regulations are foregone. We are not on that particular level so that we could immediately behave like that. Also not try to even think about that. So Gadadhar Pandit was so stubborn. Mahaprabhu started persuading him, don't go, Gadadhar. No. Then he started fighting only with Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandit, see, I'm not going with you. I will go separately, okay? You go this way, I will go. So Gaurang Mahaprabhu started moving toward Vrindavan. He started moving from Puri to west, toward west. And Gadadhar Pandit he alone, he started taking parallel route. Parallel route. He's not going with him. He told, I'll not go with you. But he started taking a parallel route so that he could somehow or other manage to meet with him somewhere. So like this, he left Puri, both of them they left Puri, and at the end they uh, got together in Katak. Katak is so far from Puri. And there Mahaprabhu tells that Gadadhar, now enough is enough. Now you have already broken the vow of Chhatra Sannyas. At least now you can go return back. If you really want any happiness of mine, if you really love me, if you really want any happiness of mine, kindly return back to Puri. So as soon as this was told, if you really want myself to be happy, then when happiness term comes, immediately Gadadhar has to stop there. Right? So Chaitanya Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells that you are going to Vrindavan with me for your own happiness, right? You want to become happy along with me, but that is not my happiness. So if you want really myself to be happy, then you return to Puri. This is actually a great lesson for all of us to learn that whenever we do our service, we should see the perfection of service in the parameter of how much that service is going to satisfy Guru and Krishna, right? Not our own happiness, right? Seemingly, it's look like, okay, yeah, it's very nice, always remain with Mahaprabhu. But that's not the happiness of Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu want to also establish the Dharma, want to also set the examples, perfect examples for devotees to follow. So the happiness of Mahaprabhu was that he stayed in Puri. So when this was told, immediately Gadadhar Pandit stopped there. But in stop there, somehow he was forced to stop there. And when Mahaprabhu left, Gadadhar Pandit was unconscious, fully just fell down. And somehow other Sarvam Bhattacharya and some more devotees they lifted him and some other managed to bring him to Jagannath Puri. So this was the past times. very instructive pastimes. So return after Mahaprabhu returns from Vrindavan, and Gadadhar Pandit was still there. And Gadadhar Pandit is very much famous among the devotees for reciting of Srimad Bhagavatam. If somebody want to have the taste of Srimad Bhagavatam, you should pray to Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is famous for reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarup Damodar is famous for singing Kirtan, right? So Lalita Sakhi and Gadadhar Pandit. So Gadadhar Pandit is, Srimati Radharani herself, and she is so fond of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? If somebody want to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, means one need to take shelter of Gadadhar Pandit. So Mahaprabhu himself is to come after having they done his lunch, I mean, this afternoon rituals, taking bath in ocean, and he used to come along with all devotees, all I mean, his own most intimate associates. He used to come to Tota Gopinath, Chameshwar Tota, in that garden. He used to sit along with all devotees, circle after circle. I think most of you have seen that photo in which this Gadadhar Pandit in the center, in front of him, Nimai Pandit, Gaurang Mahaprabhu there, other associates are also there. And there is one circle, another circle, third circle, fourth circle, like circle after circle, devotees are sitting. For what purpose? Discussing Srimad Bhagavatam together. So discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the very, very important principle established by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Gadadhar Pandit. So every day they used to have at least 2 to 3 hours, 3 hours of Bhagavatam reading. That's why we are also told at least we should read half an hour of Bhagavatam or Prabhupada books. And best time in morning time. Mahaprabhu used to read together in lunch time, afternoon. That is also very good time. You can also try following the footsteps of Mahaprabhu. So Gadadhar Pandit and all other devotees, and they used to discuss. They used to discuss what? Mainly this Dhruva Lila and Prahlad Lila. And Dhruva Lila and Prahlad Lila discussing these two pastimes hundreds and hundreds of times. And every time they used to discuss, they used to cry tears. And they used to cry tears so much that the tears used to fall on the book. The book was not like now we have paper books. Those times books were tamra, what do we say, this tala leaves and tala patra. So by the time they had read it so many times, the letters were also indistinct. Having wiped out with a flush of their tears. They were reading Bhagavatam like that. Bhagavatam reading should be like that, so much intense and scrutinizingly, right? So of course we should read scrutinizingly, but we should go to the emotions of different pastimes and different characters of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the Bhagavatam reading has been established by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So Bhagavatam is very, very important book for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Very, very important. Not very most important book. For Gaudiya Vaishnava, Bhagavatam is like life and soul. Right? So Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why we see this one of the poets, he writes, Madhyastha Sri Bhagavata Purana. Madhyastha Sri Bhagavat Purana. This Srimad Bhagavatam Purana is like the center of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So this pastime used to take place every day. And Gadadhar Pandit is like Gadadhar Pandit and Mahaprabhu was actually never to be separated. That's why as soon as Mahaprabhu leaves, Gadadhar Pandit also very soon he leaves the planet and returns home back to Godhead. And when Srinivas Acharya, all of you know the Srinivas Acharya, that same Srinivas Acharya about whom we learn in prayers, Ramachandra Sangamane Mange Narotmadas, Mahaprabhu Daya Karo, Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas. So that's Srinivas Acharya. So he wanted to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So the devotees told that you want to read Srimad Bhagavatam, go to Jagannath Puri, and there you can read in the association of Mahaprabhu. So when Srinivas Acharya he came to Jagannath Puri, then he found that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu already left. And then Mahaprabhu comes into his dream and he tells Srinivas, you want to read Srimad Bhagavatam, you go and read Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. Because I also used to be like, I also used to hear from him. So you go and learn from Gadadhar Pandit. So when he went to Gadadhar Pandit house, Gadadhar Pandit was fully disheveled. I mean, he was not in his proper composition. Nobody was in then proper mental composition. Then Mahaprabhu left. Everybody, like whole Jagannath Puri has become distraught. And the Gadadhar was also like fully left. He left even like there are not, I mean, other like ritualistic activities, like mainly the deity worship are also not so much nicely done. He has become very much old. So we know that because of just Gadadhar Pandit, only Lord Sri Krishna who was standing, he sat down. So this is only one deity, sitting deity in whole planet. I think at least in the planet Earth, that is sitting Krishna, threefold bending sitting Krishna. That's only there in Tota Gopinath. And Krishna who was standing, he sat down just for the sake of Gadadhar Pandit. So this Srinivasacharya went and he told that Gadadhar Pandit, please accept me as a disciple and please instruct me in Srimad Bhagavatam. Gadadhar Pandit told, who told you to come here? So Gaurang Mahaprabhu told in the dream. Oh, he told. Then he started crying and he told us, see how I'll teach you. I'll show you where is my book. So he just took out one of his, I mean, his Srimad Bhagavatam copy. And he told that, can you see the letters? So Srinivasacharya could say there is no letter. I mean, everything was wiped out by the tears while reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So go to Navdeep and get a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? Go and get a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then only we can discuss. So Srinivasacharya has to leave for Navdeep. Navdeep was the seat of Pandits. There this publication used to take place, and publication, publishing, printing, these things were not so easy as if now we have, right? Uh, so in just matter of minutes, one copy of Bhagavatam can come out from BBT. Right? But to get a copy of Bhagavatam, previously Pandit has to be arranged, then they has to and they has to just write down everything, right? And it used to take months altogether, maybe year also, 1 year. So it took around 1 year to have a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he got that copy back to Puri. And when he gets to Jagannath Puri, he finds that now somebody tells that Srinivasacharya has come. Okay, but you came with this Srimad Bhagavatam copy to meet with Gadadhar Pandit, but Gadadhar Pandit has left the body. He left the planet. Now Srinivasacharya again he fell down right there, just like in the previously he fell down along with Srimad Bhagavatam copy. And then he was like, he fell down unconscious. So then Sachinandan Gaurari comes and he tells that, don't worry, Srinivas, still there is hope. You take the Bhagavatam and go to Vrindavan. There are Rupa and Sanatana Goswami still existing there. They will teach you. So like this, this long story, he goes to Vrindavan taking that Bhagavatam to learn from Sarupa, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. And there when he was crossing Yamuna river, on the boat, another person is talking together. They were very nice brothers. They were like life and soul of Vrindavan. But they left us. So Srinivasacharya, who left? Who left? Who left? Oh, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami. Oh, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami left. And again he became unconscious. He fell down. And then some other Rupa Sanatana Goswami came to Srinivasacharya's dream and told that now Jiva Goswami there go and learn Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Jiva Goswami. And in this way we see that ultimately Srinivasacharya happens to go and meet with Srila Jiva Goswami and learn Srimad Bhagavatam from there. So now what is our situation? We have Srimad Bhagavatam, not one or two copy. We have tens and hundreds of copy in our centers. But now there is no desperation for reading Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Very difficult to take up Bhagavatam and read. For to read that same Bhagavatam, you see, this Srinivasacharya is going from one person to another. It takes years together to get it printed and all that. The same Srimad Bhagavatam is available to all of us. Now, how much we should be desperate to read Srimad Bhagavatam? How much one should be desperate to read Srimad Bhagavatam? So this Srimad Bhagavatam was not so easily available before. So today, on this most auspicious appearance day of Sri Gadadhar Pandit, we like to pray at the lotus feet of Sri Gadadhar Pandit and Sri Panch Tattva. That's so that we could get a maybe article of test, particular of service attitude towards Srimad Bhagavatam, and distributing the message of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the mankind. So with these words, today I would like to take a pause here for the glorification of Sri Gadadhar Pandit Mahashay. Gadadhar Pandit ki jai.